I'm cold. Hey everyone, so there's Mike Victor uniform in the background. If you watched the last video, I flew from Oshawa to Sioux Lookout. I'm filming with Canada Goose in a couple of days. So I'm trying to get to Winnipeg. And then this weather came in, low cloud, there was freezing rain and snow. So I'm not going anywhere today. But I walked about a half-hour walk from town out to the airport because I wanted to get a warmer coat. And that warmer coat just happens to be the Canada Goose Jacket that I keep in Mike Victor uniform in the emergency pack at all times, just in case you get stranded somewhere and you're cold. I'm cold, so I'm gonna get that jacket out and put it on. Not sponsored. Couldn't plan this if I wanted to. Let's go get that Canada Goose Jacket on. This is so much better. It's a really lightweight jacket. It packs into that little pack, which is amazing. But once you shake it out and it gets all fluffy, it's good down to about minus 15. Currently it's like minus 8 here. So this jacket's gonna be perfect for the walk back into town and for my trips tonight to get some food and other things. Also gonna grab some mitts and a toque because I really need a toque. And we will reconvene here tomorrow around noon when the weather should be a little bit warmer, a little bit clearer, and we'll get off on the rest of our leg to Winnipeg. Mike Victor uniform, backtracking 3-4 from Alpha, Sioux Lookout.
Mike Victor uniform, roger.
Sioux Lookout, Mike Victor uniform, rolling on 3-4.
Mike Victor uniform, roger.
Airspeed's alive, everything's in the green. A little bit of gusty wind.
Mike Victor uniform, you can check your flight plan is open and say you're passing altitude.
Mike Victor uniform passing 2,100, thank you.
Roger, and what's your planned altitude?
2,500 for now.
Roger. Mike Victor uniform, Sioux Lookout radio. Traffic taxiing for departure runway 30 westbound Kenora Platus. IFR, they're initially climbing up to, actually their flight plan altitude 6,000.
Keep my eyes out for the traffic. I will be overhead Trident in 3.5 minutes. Foxtrot, Mike Victor uniform.
We're setting sail to the place on the map from which no one has ever returned. Drawn by the promise of the joker and the fool, by the light of the crosses that burn. Drawn by the promise of
Steinbach north. This is Foxtrot, Mike Victor uniform, Cessna 172, currently 10 miles east of the field, inbound for landing. Planning on joining the mid-right downwind runway 33, full stop, Steinbach north. Wheels over the field in 6 minutes.
Zulu Kilo Charlie, 1 mile final, Steinbach south, traffic at space, back taxiing. If you need us to overshoot, we will.
Hey, Andre.
Good morning, Glen. How are you?
Glen, very well. And yourself?
Great. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me at Canada Goose.
You're very welcome.
We were supposed to do this a couple days ago. I got stuck in Sioux Lookout in a snowstorm, and I keep a Canada Goose jacket, one of the little packable ones, in my plane, and I pulled that out, and I was so happy to have it because it was so cold and windy and snowy and freezing rain. I want to know how these jackets are made. Can you show that to me?
Of course, you're in a better place. Welcome to our factory.
So we're here in Winnipeg.
That's correct.
How big is the plant?
Plane's around 2,500 square feet.
And how many employees around?
We have right now 520.
That's a lot of jackets.
Right.
Okay, let's go.
Thank you.
Where are we now? Is this...
Glen, John, right now we are in our cutting room.
Okay.
And John is going to walk us through the processes from...
Hey, John. Nice to meet you.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you, Glenn.
So I assume this is the first step then.
That is correct.
It
Okay.
is. So please come in and see where the first process started.
So this is the start of the process. I see printers. I see lots of computer screens. What is happening?
That is right. So basically this place is where everything is being planned,
Okay.
where the markers are being printed, which the other people considered the blueprint.
So this is the cut list for the jackets.
That is
the
correct.
blueprint of how to cut the jacket
That is
panels.
correct.
Okay. And so I guess Mr. Taylor is someone who likes puzzles
That's right.
and tries to figure out how to fit all of the pieces.
That is true. To
Okay.
optimize,
Optimize
the
your-
fabric usage.
Okay. And then they print out the patterns.
That's right. And all these markers are being delivered to the cutting room.
To the cutting room. Okay, let's go to the cutting room.
Alrighty.
Okay, John, what's happening here? I imagine this is all the paper that was just printed by Mr. Taylor in the other office.
That is correct.
So it comes out here, and what happens now?
So now everything that they provide to us
Yep.
is we separate them.
Okay.
And each paper, as you see here, each roll is a different fabric.
Okay.
And as she separates them, this is what it looks like.
So this represents an order.
That is correct.
Okay. And what are the color codings?
So color codes means fabric,
Different fabric. Okay.
different fabric. So when you see blue, that's the outside of the fabric.
So how many different fabrics are in an average jacket?
Oof, I would say 8 to 9 different fabrics.
8 to 9 different
one
fabrics
jacket.
in one jacket, and they all have to have their own pattern.
That is correct.
And they're all, and so it's represented here.
That is right.
So this is one order,
One order,
and multiple jackets, multiple sizes.
multiple jackets for 1,000 jackets.
1,000 jackets in
Right
different
here.
sizes.
That is correct.
Okay. So now we've got this. Now we've got this paper plan. I imagine it goes over here to the cutting room.
That is right. That goes to the spreaders.
Let's go to the spreaders.
All right. We call them the automatic spreading machine.
Okay.
So basically, like what the machine's name is, it spreads the fabric automatically.
Just lays the fabric out.
It lays out automatically for this.
Okay, so we just saw the material being spread out.
That's
and then
right.
this is you call it a marker?
That is right.
Call it a marker, which is basically a cut list that comes from Mr. Taylor.
That is correct.
So this gets laid on top.
Yep. So everything that you see here is from Mr. Taylor's planning.
Okay.
We optimize the marker, and now the spreader, after they spread the material, we put them on the top.
There's very little wasted here, isn't there?
Oh yes.
He's done a very good job of putting in little pieces,
pieces.
and little.
That is true.
That is a skill that I just.
Oh yes, and again, that place is where everything is being planned and just handed to us.
And so each of these pieces has the style,
That's right.
what the part is. So this is the body back, and that is the size.
That is right. Yep.
Okay. Everything's labeled. Everything is where it's supposed to be. Where does it go now?
Now, after we spread them, we push them towards the cutter. And if
Okay.
you would notice, there's holes on the tables.
So little jets of air, like air hockey?
That is true.
Because I can imagine a lot of, like 50 layers of fabric. Some of that
Mhm.
fabric can be very heavy.
Oh, that's true. And again, with this airlift or air blower underneath the table, we could move this with 2 fingers, with one person,
Down to the cutter.
down to the cutter. And again, that is because we are very, very strict when it comes to health and safety. So,
Let's go see the cutter.
alrighty.
Okay, so this is the next step in the process.
That is right.
the cutter.
The
Okay.
automatic cutting machine.
Automatic cutting machine. So it gets rolled out, comes down to this point.
That is right.
There's plastic on top.
Yes. And there's
Okay.
a special reason why we have a plastic on top.
Okay.
And that is to make sure that we hold the fabric down using a very strong vacuum.
So it's a vacuum table.
It is.
So it compresses it all
That is right.
so that when you're cutting through it, it's not
It's
moving
not moving
around,
around.
not wiggling.
That's true.
Wow. So what does it look like, John?
So, look, it's a perfectly cut panel.
Wow.
Yep. Amazing, isn't it?
Very little waste left,
Right?
but these are the actual parts that you want.
That is right. So these are the parts that the machine has cut.
Okay.
Right? And for the operator, she has to make sure that all the parts are picked up.
Okay.
And all parts are tied together so that we could pack them and put them in a box. All together.
So what does this bundle represent?
This represents one cut.
One cut.
One size of 50 layers.
And this represents all of the parts of one jacket in that fabric.
That is right. That is right.
So 50 jackets worth of the one type of fabric that's in that jacket.
That is right.
That's what's here.
That is exactly what's here.
This sounds like a logistical nightmare to me. A real logistical nightmare.
Yes.
Tracking and making sure that all of the parts are correctly labeled in the right
That
place.
is true. So that's why we have this paperwork too. You can see here, it says the size, the style, and how many quantity, and this has to stay with.
All travels together.
All travels together.
So it'll be packaged into boxes, and these pieces that are cut go to your sewing across the street.
That is right. Or in Toronto, or in Montreal, across Canada.
Across Canada, cut from this plant.
That is right.
Wow. Okay, so I think next Andre's going to take me in and show me how it's all sewn together.
Oh, great, yeah. Oh, that place is amazing.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you for your time
Thank
as
you.
well.
So this is the next step. So we just saw all this being cut and bundled
Correct. So these are the cut goods that come from our cutting room.
across the street.
That is correct.
Okay.
Our operators, what they are doing is opening the boxes and staging all the cut goods accordingly before we deploy them into the production.
Okay. So each of these bundles is one panel.
That is correct. So we have 50 layers of fronts here, 50 layers of backs, 50 layers of sleeves. Each 50 layers are the same size. Before we bring them to the production floor, we're going to start making bundles of 10, taking the sleeves together, the fronts together, the backs together,
Okay.
so the employees can do their jobs.
To me, logistical nightmare.
Yes.
Okay.
We have jackets that have 240 pieces.
240 pieces.
That is correct.
And they've all got to make it to the right spot.
That is correct.
At the right time.
And with the same sequence. The layering is important, the way how we manipulate the garment. You don't want to buy a jacket where this sleeve is darker than this front and lighter than this front. We can have shading issues. So you need to
I hadn't even
maintain
thought of that. Yeah.
integrity of the product.
Okay. So let's carry on and see how it's made.
Of course. Glen, we have a lot of processes in our plants, and one of our biggest challenges is to find sewing machine operators. Therefore, we are working on the skilling operations. Where we are standing right now is called the bulk section.
Okay.
Here we tend to do batches of operations. We don't have to work in bundles. We take our 50 units that we have from the cutting room, and just by pressing pedals and following templates, we can then sew a label into the garment.
So this is a label for a
That
garment.
is correct.
Okay.
I don't identify. This is iconic in our garments.
So if anybody has a Canada Goose, you know that this is on the back panel.
That is
The
correct.
back panel. And so by following the template,
That's it.
everything just happens
She
perfectly.
makes sure that it's centered. She puts the label, of the size label. Then by pressing pedals, the clamps hold them, and the machine sews. You have continuity. Every label looks the same. Perfect quality. Glenn, the same as with our diamonds, our iconic discs are being placed in the garments through our automatic machines. As you can see, what she does is she takes the sleeve, places the sleeve on the machine, a clamp holds it, then she puts the disc, press the pedal, the machine does the job. And as I mentioned before, what you will have is a constant product, so you have consistency, all of them look the same, good quality, straight. So yes, this is our downfill machine.
Okay.
We have different types of downfill machines, depending on the amount of down that we have to inject in our jackets.
Okay.
Okay. This is a machine that is actually medium size to small size. We use it for small or medium sized jackets.
Okay.
Right now we are using gray down. We have two types of down, white and gray.
And then within the white and the gray, are there different grades of
We
down?
have goose and duck.
Duck,
That
okay.
is correct. The quality of the down is determined by the capacity of warming up your garment, right? So if we have a down that is good in quality, we require less amount than the one that has more. The machines are very simple. We have 3 different canisters that are resting on scales. The employee enters the amount of down that the jacket specifies. We don't decide how much down we inject. That comes from design and the type of down as well. The employee enters the settings. The machine starts to deploy the down into the canisters. The scale registers the weight. Once it reaches what we want, the employee presses the pedal,
Blows it in.
That's it.
So this is a bag.
That is correct. That is
Okay.
a bag full of down.
Okay.
Now that the bag has been downfilled, we need to come and close this opening.
Yep.
After closing the opening, we need to quilt.
Okay. So then the quilting just keeps the down distributed correctly.
That is correct. If we don't quilt, it's going to recede in the bottom.
Just like it is.
That is correct. So what we need to do now is distribute it accordingly and then quilt so it stays in one place.
So let's go to the quilting.
Let's do it. Here, our panels come from downfilling, as you can see.
Again, this is a back of a
There
jacket.
is a bag
of
full of
a long
down.
jacket.
You
Okay.
can see the down is not distributed accordingly.
Yep.
So we have to do two things first. The first one is distribute the down across our panel. What we do, we use badminton
I
rackets.
can see the badminton racket.
Sometimes we use rulers.
So I find this amazing that this is, so simple.
Correct.
Yet it is the tool for the job, isn't it?
That is correct.
Because that just distributed it perfectly.
Evenly.
Yeah.
That's correct.
Yeah.
The down is now our cutting room create notches on our panels.
Okay.
You can see them
See
here.
them along here.
That is correct. Which is the a place where she's gonna put the template and it's gonna quilt.
That's the guide for the quilting.
That is correct.
Okay. And so the machine has a long, essentially a long
It's
ruler.
a long arm machine that allows us to pass the panels through it easily. If you notice, the table has little rollers
Yes.
that allows as well the movement of the material easily. It has rollers in next to the foot that allows the ruler to move as she's sewing. And the rulers allows us to maintain the seam straight and to make sure that both notches are aligned.
And then you come out with a perfectly
That is correct. She's doing the side ones and then she does the ones.
perfectly lofted.
Perfectly locked. Our plant consists on different lines. Currently we have 14 sewing lines.
Okay.
Each line is going to be dedicated to a specific product.
To one jacket.
One jacket.
Okay.
Correct. The reason why we do that is because it allows us to have more repetitions. The more we produce the same style, the employees are going to be able to master the capabilities and the skills. They will be more optimal, more efficient, the quality will be greater.
Yep.
Once we have a change of a style, definitely we will have to do a reinforcement and training, but the idea is to keep the style as much as possible in the same line.
So they're making, I assume, this jacket here.
In this line, we are making the Langford Parka. It's one of our iconic jackets. So we have 30 employees that are doing the jacket in a sequential process flow.
So it starts
It starts in the back.
and then it just keeps moving forward.
As in the back, we start making the small parts. We
Okay.
start making the linings, we start making the pockets. And as you move through the line, you're gonna see the jacket getting form and shape. And at the end, you have the final product. This is where we join the shell with the lining. She does the top stitching, which is basically the final stitching and inspection.
So, does the process get more difficult as it moves along?
You can say that.
Okay.
The operators are more skilled as you progress through the line.
Okay.
That is correct. So you will say the more experienced employees at the end.
At the end.
And the new ones actually at the beginning.
Very interesting.
That's correct.
Very interesting.
I used to explain that to make our big parkas is like making two jackets. You will see the outside, we call it the shell, which is made with our beautiful Architect fabric.
Okay.
And then we have the lining, which is the one that contains the down and makes you feel warm. So what she's doing right now is she's taking that lining and joining it to the shell.
Joining it to the, okay.
Okay? What she does is she joins it from the inside. Then somebody or her is gonna turn them out, and then we're gonna close them, which is what is happening over there at the end of the line.
With the, okay.
As you mentioned before, there is a sequential process flow, so the jackets are being finished over there. This is the second last operation, then we're gonna turn.
And then
and
over
now
there,
that's
it
gonna be
comes together.
substitched, correct. So what right now we're doing is joining the outside with the inside together. She's turning the jacket right now after being joined the shell and the lining. As you can see, there is happening on the bottom through which we turn the jacket. So that's what she's doing right now. Then she's gonna close and hem. Then we top stitch and the garment is finished.
So this is the last stop on the line.
Correct, Glen. After our jackets inspection, as you mentioned, After our jackets passing through all the processes of bundling, downfilling, quilting, closing, joining shell to lining, so on and so forth, you can continue. What she does is she takes our garments, she puts the zipper pullers, she puts all the little additions, cord locks, stoppers. Then she's going to inspect the jacket first from the inside and then to the outside. If she finds a defect, she's going to place it in the bin for it to be repaired, and she's going to enter it in our records for us to understand there's a jacket that needs to be repaired so we don't lose track of it.
Yep.
We can bring it back. Once she finishes, she's going to fold them neatly, and then we're going to go into move into cleaning before we go and pack them.
So they all get cleaned before they're packed.
That is correct.
I'm noticing your defect bin is empty.
That is correct, Glenn. We don't pass, we don't make, we don't accept quality based on our blueprint. Okay?
That's a very good mantra to have.
That's what makes sense for us to make seconds, knowing that we are the ones that produce the jackets. Right?
Excellent.
We can repair them as we go, we can fix them as we go, and then your product should be finished.
Thank you so much for the tour.
Glenn, it was a pleasure.
It was fantastic. You put the jacket on and you realize that there's a bunch of parts to it. But until I actually saw how difficult it is to get all of the parts to come together correctly.
240 pieces, 680 minutes, more than 30 employees. When you buy a new garment, you don't realize around 40 hands touch that jacket before
it came to me. Amazing, amazing, and amazing quality. I absolutely love my jackets. Thank you so much for having me.
It was a pleasure. Thank you so much.
Bye. So I thoroughly enjoyed that tour of Canada Goose. Absolutely amazing to see the Parkas being made. How many operations, how many pieces, how many hands touch the jacket before it makes it to quality control, before it makes it to the hanger in your closet. I mean, I've been wearing Canada Goose since they started showing up on film sets, especially in Toronto and in the north, where you're standing outside all day and it's cold. And those jackets are perfect for that. And so the first jacket that I ever got from them, I still have. And I'll put up, there I am wearing it in Mirabel, and the wind is howling, and I'm warm, and I've got a happy smile on my face. So, currently in Steinbach. Canada Goose is in Winnipeg, but I stopped in Steinbach because Steinbach has cheap gas, cheap tie downs, a great hotel within walking distance, and fantastic restaurants. A great place if you're a pilot flying across Canada to stop and rest. Right now we're jumping in the plane and we're going to go to Saskatoon, Saskatchewan. There is a distillery there that makes a very unique whiskey. I'm not going to say much more about it. Come on back for the next episode. Steinbach North, Foxtrot, Mike Victor Uniform, rolling on runway 33. Steinbach North. Airspeed's alive.